Hey, what's happening guys? I'm Kyle at Fortune Off-Road. In this video, we're throwing a new exhaust system, including header, cat, and muffler on the Samurai. Oh. Alright, I've watched a bunch of exhaust videos myself, trying to figure out which one we should do with the Samurai. So I'm not going to do a bunch of talking. Let's get right into the exhaust notes so you guys can hear it. But if you're interested in this at all, definitely watch the rest of the video because I'll talk about some things that really helped me and some ways to save yourself a headache when you do this. So this is 2,000 RPMs. This, like 1,500 to 2,000 is usually what I'm crawling out on the trail. I mean, a little bit of drone, it's not bad though. I think it sounds good. It's a pretty steady tone. All right, that's 2,500. So this is 2,500 reaching 3,000. That's 3,000 right there. All right, time for some good news, bad news. The good news is the exhaust on the Samurai's done. I love it. The bad news is I just didn't do a good job recording it. I was on a time crunch because we had to take the Samurai on a trail run. The following weekend, and I only had the work week to get the exhaust done. I had like a half hour to an hour a day to work on it, and just messing with the camera and stuff, it just wasn't gonna happen. Alright, switching to a header from a manifold, can kind of see that there are some big differences. So one of the things right away is you see where the exhaust attaches to the bottom. Two totally different spots. This is going to drop down way more, so you're at the very least going to have to modify your existing exhaust to bolt up to this. Luckily this kit comes with some different flanges and stuff, so they can make that happen. Another thing is this, your sensor that goes into the manifold right there. It's considerably lower in the header. This thing's got a pretty long line on it. Looks like it's going to work. Next step, we're going to hook up the header and we're just going to kind of go off of that. I got my own universal exhaust kit, so I'm going to attempt to weld that up and make it work. And we also have a muffler that I got off of Amazon, a little cheap Jones exhaust muffler, so we'll have to see how all this works out. All right, header installed. Dude, sure looks way cooler like that. Clearance looks pretty good. It is quite a drop down there to that O2 sensor. So let me show you the overview of everything we've got now that it's all done. So there it is. The header's all wrapped up and you can see down there the O2 sensor in the collector, and then because these are so close to the spark plugs and the wires, we just got these little spark plug boots that go over there and protect it from the header. Clearance is great, it's not touching anything. The wrap is definitely hard to do on the engine. That's the way I did it because I just didn't know how any of this was going to work, and I didn't want to get it all wrapped up and then decide it wasn't going to work for me. So do yourself a favor, if you order this one, wrap it first because it's a pain in the butt to do it on the engine. All right, so there's the underside coming into the collector right there. This was just a little bit of tube that I chopped off of my universal kit. Goes into the MagnaFlow cat, and you can see we got a little bit of color on that. We went through some water this weekend, so a little bit of rust on my welds here, and you can see I just have lines of a bunch of welds. Probably thinking, what is that about? And then it goes all the way back to the tip there, and you can see I only welded on a tiny bit of the tip, so some air is able to get into the exhaust right there, and that's what's causing that discoloration, but it actually looks kind of cool. So it's hard to tell when we're under here, but this all hugs up pretty tight. right. The cat hangs a little bit lower than I wanted, but it's behind the shield still, so that's good. And then this tube is no longer hitting right here where it was before, coming from there. And overall, it just hangs really high up. I'm using the stock hanger for right there with a new bushing in it, and then a new one in the rear, and then the old long one right here on the pipe. So I've got 3. One that I'm not using is this one right here that hangs off of the transmission. Before, the cat is like right here, and it's really hard to get the transmission in and out, and I just wanted it out of the way, so I moved mine all over to the side, and I like this way better. So right now I have the exhaust tip just coming out, and it ends pretty much at the shackle there. I didn't want to go all the way out here because you can see underneath my bumper, I scrape this thing all the time. And I'll end up just pinching that tube closed. You also don't want it to just go straight back. I had it like that for a minute, and that is definitely a no-go because all that exhaust gas comes into the cabin. You can smell it, and you know, you get a little silly driving around like that. I absolutely love the exhaust notes. It just sounds so good. I never would have thought that Jones muffler would have sounded this good. I actually started looking at maybe if I redo the Jeep, try it on there, but it's just, the Flowmaster works a lot better on the Jeep, it sounds like, but the Jones is perfect for the Samurai, so you should definitely check it out. So I got all of this off of Amazon. It was pretty easy to do as far as the universal exhaust kit, the cat, and the muffler. That was all from Amazon, and it was a pretty good deal. Showed up pretty quick and within a couple of days. But the header is from Roadless Gear. I've got the links to all the stuff down in the description, so go down there and check that out. If you use those links, probably give me a little bit of kickback and could do more stuff like this for the Samurai. Roadless Gear, their website seems like it's a little bit dated, but every time I've bought something from them, especially for the Samurai, it's just been great. Shows up quick, great quality, get exactly what I ordered. I have 0 complaints. I would highly recommend this header from them. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. If you want to see more like this, consider subscribing. I do little things like this to my vehicles all the time. You can see the Jeep's over there getting the battery charged because we've got to do some electrical work on that thing soon. All right, see you guys in the next one.